YouTube. It's hot today. Thought I'd get out and come over to my son's house and get the Z900 Naked bike out, ride it. But just wanted to share a little experience that happened to us yesterday while we were riding. Met up with a friend of mine. We went riding over in the county over from us, and there's a boy had went with us, and I was on this Z900. Nick was on his MT09, and this boy was on a K6 Gixxer 1000. Been stretched, all that good stuff, and we decided to go ride a little trail. Hey, get on your side of the road. We decided to go ride a trail, well, not a trail, but a route over here called Copperhead Trail. And yeah, we got two routes over here named after a snake. Imagine that. The Rattlesnake and Copperhead Trail. Lord have mercy. But anyway, we'd never been on this route, and Nick had been on it once, but he couldn't remember, you know, all the turns in it. Wasn't real familiar with it. But we was coming around through there, and I mean, it had turns like this in it. I mean, they were curves that would look fairly, you know, open when you went into them, and then they would just hairpin right in the middle of them, and you'd go into it, you know, thinking, you know, I got this, and then all of a sudden it just hairpin on you. And we was probably, I'd say probably halfway through it, and Nick was in front, the boy on the K6 was next, and then I was behind them, and I was probably from here to that hill behind them, because I didn't know the road. I didn't want to, you know, go into a curve and maybe run over into another lane, or worse than that, run over there and go into the ditch and, well, you know, just whatever, or lay it down or something like that. So anyway, I was just going along like this right here, just putting along, and I ran into one of them curves, and there laid that K6 in the middle of the road on its side, and Nick was sitting over in the grass. And of course I jumped off, and I asked that boy, he was laying on the ground, he's laying over in the grass, and I said, buddy, you all right? And he said, yeah, I'm fine. He said, how's my bike? And I said, of course we didn't look at the bike at first, so then we got over and started looking at the bike, and it broke the whole rear subframe off of it, and broke the peg off of it, scuffed up the engine cover on the left side over here, and but it skinned him up pretty good. It skinned up his elbow, and he got some pretty bad road rash on his back right there above his belt line. And but the whole thing is, he was wearing a LS2 helmet, which I have one, love it. And when he wrecked, when I finally found out what happened was they went into that curve too fast, and they couldn't, you know, there's they had to try to slow down for it. And Nick said that he realized that he was going way too fast for that turn when he got into it, because you know it hairpinned on him, and he was trying to get stopped, and he had it leaned way over that MT-09, and it just kept going toward the other lane. And he said, finally I just decided that I'm gonna have to, you know, lock it up, you know, keep from going over that, because there's another hill just like that right there on the other side of the road. If he'd went on through that grass, he'd have went right on over that hill. And he said, when I locked mine up, he said, I heard that boy behind me. He said, I heard his lock up the rear, you know, he locked the rear end up. And that boy said what happened was, when he was, I mean, he was right on Nick. I mean, right, you know, probably maybe 2 bikes behind him, maybe a bike and a half. And he said when he seen Nick go start drifting over the center line, he said he knew that he was going too fast. And then Nick locked his up, and he said he was trying to slow down, and he couldn't. He said he knew he couldn't get it stopped, and he was headed right for the side of Nick, because by that point Nick was over here, and he was, you know, going around like that, and he was coming into it. And he said I had 2 choices, either hit him and maybe knock us both over that hill, or lock it up. And he locked it up, and you know, like I said, I don't know if it played a role in it or not. I mean, I don't know, but it had been stretched. It had a stretched swing arm on it. But he said it started fishtailing, and it went sideways and caught traction and high-sided him, flipped him over it, and he hit on his back, and his helmet. That's the part that I want to stress, is the helmet. His helmet hit so hard on that, on the blacktop, that it cracked that LS2 open. Now, granted, I know you're looking at me right now saying, well, you ain't wearing none right now. Well, I know I should have it on. Don't chastise me in the comments if you comment on it, but yes, I should have it on. But I'm not riding aggressively. I just rode over here to my son's house right quick, and I'm headed back home, which that don't mean anything. You can still wreck. But anyway, the point is that I want to get across is the helmet. If he hadn't had that helmet on, more than likely he may not be here. I mean, I'll just be honest. If you hit blacktop hard enough with your head with a helmet, that it cracks the helmet open, and I got pictures of it. But if you crack a helmet open and you hit that hard, imagine what it would have done to his head. I think it'd be safe to say it probably would have cracked his skull, just to be honest. And but anyway, I just, you know, I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention, you know, and seeing it firsthand yesterday. I've seen it on video, you know, and I've watched tons of people lay them down and slide them. I've seen them flip over them. I've seen everything in the world, but I've never actually seen it firsthand. Well, yesterday I got to see it firsthand, and it opened your eyes up. So I just want to leave you with this while we put across this road here. If you go out and ride, I mean, and I know I'm guilty of it, everybody's guilty of it. If you've ever been on a bike or you ride bikes, you are guilty of it. You think, well, I'm just going to run up the road here, and I'm just going to do this, I'm just going to cruise around town, and you don't wear all that stuff. I'm guilty of it. But at least, at the bare minimum, wire you some gloves, because he had gloves on, and his hands, you know, where he hit the blacktop, saved his hands. He had gloves, you know, at least wear gloves and a helmet. At least, you know. But once you think about it, put it all on. And I'll tell you something else. Yesterday opened my eyes up to leather. Lord have mercy. Leather is 100 times better than anything you could wear. And the only reason that his clothes didn't get tore up is no worse than they did is because his pants was below his belt line down a little bit, and his shirt had blown up when he was coming around that road, and he landed right on his back, right on his skin, nothing between him and the blacktop. So folks, I seen it firsthand. At minimum, wear gloves and a helmet, and then if you got it, wear all leather. I know it's hot, I know you'll burn up. We rode the other day and I was in leather, and Lord have mercy. If we wasn't moving, I was sweating. So, and I get it. You don't want to, you want to stop and take breaks and stuff, and if you stop, you got to start shedding some of that leather off. And then when you get going, you got to start putting it all back on. I get it. It's aggravating. But let me tell you, it's better than sliding down that blacktop. I'm telling you that. Now, I'm not saying all these other protective clothing won't help. Oh, they'll help tremendously. But, you know, if he'd have had leather on, well, even if he'd had anything other than, well, it looked to me like just pants, just regular pants, it would have saved him a little bit. But if he'd have had leather on, maybe about 90% sure he wouldn't have got the road rash he got. So, you know, I just wanted to share that with you, and but he's okay, he's all right. I told him he might want to go to the hospital and get checked for a concussion. He said, nah, he was good. So, you know, what do you do? But anyway, be safe out there, and keep both wheels on the ground. Now, back to this Naked bike. I was very hesitant when, I was hesitant to trade. I thought, I don't know how well I like a Naked bike compared to that, you know, that 1000 RR. The more I ride this thing, the more I like it. And I have no regrets trading for this Naked bike. This bike here, I've watched numerous videos on it, and it makes about 125 horsepower, brake horsepower, and I've watched several dyno videos on it, and it makes about 113 horsepower to the rear wheel, you know. So, you know, that's honestly, if you think about it, that's pretty comparable to a 600 sport bike, you know, some of them. And it makes about, I think, 72, 73 foot-pounds of torque. Listen, this thing will pull like crazy in every gear. You don't even, like, if I wanted to pass that car, I don't even have to downshift. If it has a straight stretch in a passing zone, I wouldn't even have to downshift. I just give it the gas and it'll catch them. And I'll give you, and I'll show you. So let's just say I could pass them right here, and I say, well, I want to go. Tons of pickup, tons of it. So, do I regret trading for it? Absolutely not. I sure don't. For anybody wanting to know, it's a 2017 Kawasaki Z900. So I rode my buddy's MT-09 the other day out through here, and it's got tons of torque too. But these naked bikes are, I mean, you just get the best of both worlds. You can, I mean, yeah, you can't go out and probably run with a well, I won't say that. You might be able to run with a sport bike through the twisties with it. But anyway, it handles great. It's got plenty enough speed. I think this bike will run about 100 and, yeah, I done the research, and I think it'll run about 104, between 148 to 150 mile an hour. Folks, that's pretty fast enough in my opinion. So yeah, really enjoying the Kawasaki. I like it. Been doing some odds and ends stuff to it, getting it to suit me. And but yeah, if you're on the fence about getting a naked bike, unless you go out here and act like Mark Marquez down through here every time you ride, then keep your Super Sport. But if you want to get out and have a good time, enjoy your bike, and still do some aggressive riding, get you a naked bike. Don't hesitate. I'm glad I did. Alright, we're headed to the house, and with that, y'all be careful, be safe, and we'll see you on the next one. We're out.